Hi guys, what is up and welcome to this week's video. So drummers. Now this is a topic that surprisingly won't feature my favourite drumming idol ever, Roger Taylor. I know. Shock horror, I like other drummers besides Roger Taylor. Who knew? But if Roger wasn't on my list, I would say that these guys who I'm going to be listing definitely did inspire me to pick up a pair of sticks and drum. Which is why in this video I'm going to be listing my top 5 favourite drummers, minus Roger, obviously. Let's do this! Now number 5 on my list is Chad Smith, who is the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now I know some drummers may be laughing at the fact that Chad is actually on my list, but with Chad's playing, he has a great capacity to do different styles of drumming. He has this kind of groovy, funky beats that he always plays on Red Hot Chili Peppers songs, which also contributes to Flea's amazing bass playing. Yes, he doesn't do a lot of technical big solos that you expect to see with a lot of drummers, but he still plays the heart of each song that he plays. I think I really have been inspired by Chad Smith's playing. He is actually quite a good one to look at in terms of funky or rhythmic kind of playing. Yes, he doesn't do all this big fancied solo stuff, but with every single fill he does and every single tune and beat that he plays, he does it with a certain sense of creativity, which is why I really prefer him as a drummer compared to all these ones who hit every single drum on the drum kit in every single song. So that is the reason he is number 5 on my list. Number 4 is Tre Cool from Green Day. Now Tre, I really like his punk style of playing. I know that a lot of drummers out there might call his playing simple because once again he's not one of these drummers who aims for a solo with every single song that Green Day does, but he definitely contributes to Green Day. He's definitely his own character. He definitely has his own style and way of playing, which fits as well with Green Day's way of playing. I think he really contributes to the band in a big way, you know, and I also do think that majority of his songs that he does play are quite hard for beginners or intermediate sort of players to play because he is really fast in his playing. He also has this certain style that goes with every single thing that Mike Dirnt does as a bass player, and when you've got a good relationship between a bass player and a drummer, that makes all the difference. Yes, he doesn't make his drumming very complex, but also his drumming doesn't deafen you. He doesn't play these repetitive drum solos that clearly don't really need to be added in. And what I also love about him is that obviously his drumming and his style is very playful and fun, and I think with a lot of bands nowadays you don't get that with a lot of drummers. Now number 3 on my list is Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. Yes, I'll admit once again his drumming isn't exactly the best or very technical in a lot of drummers' opinions, but he's definitely a drummer who likes to give his point across to all of the audience. I don't think I've ever heard a lot of people say after concerts, oh my god, that drum solo was epic, wasn't it? That was really memorable. I don't think I really heard that from a general audience. Yes, as drummers we hear that, but to the general audience who aren't drummers, I don't really hear that phrase a lot. But Tommy Lee, when he used to do his drum solos upside down and over the crowds, I think he definitely changed that statement. He definitely changed the way that drummers were being portrayed, just at the back, being boring. I guess you could say very showman-like. And it takes a lot more skill to be an overall performer when you're a drummer. So number 2 on my list is Travis Barker from Blink-182. I think Travis Barker is a truly incredible and talented musician. He has demonstrated that in a lot of punk songs it can have a bit more of a different style to it in terms of the drumming. I think you could definitely believe him if he said that he could play jazz, blues, rock, everything, because he's that much of a complex kind of drummer, and that's what I really like about him. His style is kind of like this mixture of different genres, and in terms of punk or punk rock, you don't really get that in a lot of drummers. He also proved that the drumming could be part of the musical force of the whole entire band, instead of just doing the normal punky thing and just doing power chords. I also have to admit he is an incredibly difficult drummer to cover because his drumming is so complex, but if it's complex, it's also very creative, which is why he's number 2 on my list. So number 1 on my list, sorry John Bonham, it has to be Keith Moon. Now this was an extremely difficult and very torn choice. I do absolutely love John Bonham as a drummer, and I think he was an incredibly talented drummer. There's no doubt about it that he recreated drums for rock and roll. There's no doubt about that. But when you think about Keith Moon and what he did for drummers and drummers in rock history, he completely changed the image as a whole. After Keith Moon's drumming, records became a lot stronger, drummers were throwing their drum kits across the stage, and also you can't deny that the kits definitely got bigger. I think by watching old videos of Keith Moon's playing, there's something quite mesmerizing about him. He's such a character, and like I said with other people who are in this list, for a drummer to be kind of the focus of attention is quite rare in a band. Often they're at the back, no one really looks at them in great detail, but Keith Moon is definitely a drummer that you always want to watch. And I think a lot of those qualities, as well as being an absolutely fantastic drummer for The Who, really contributed to his showmanship as well, and I think that there's not going to be a drummer who is like him ever again. And I think The Who also agree with the fact that it was never the same again after he passed away. So that is it guys. Once again, this video is my own opinion, so if you guys can think of any of the drummers who really inspired yourself, or indeed who really were mesmerizing to watch, then please do leave it down in the comments down below. I'd really love to know your opinion, and I shall see you in a video very soon. Bye!